Hey, welcome back to the 50-50 Showcase, tour de force of 50, level 50 hillbillies. Yeah, heroes, villains, rogues, and vigilantes in the City of Heroes Homecoming server, Excelsior Shard. This is episode 48, talking about Tarvos. He's one of the crab spiders. He's a soldier of Arachnos. We're taking it home. We're into the epic archetypes. The last two episodes, I brought the heat with the Chaldeans, Peacebringer, and Warshade. These two episodes, we're going to bring the dark side, the Veets, Crab Spider. And then episode 49 is going to be my Night Widow. And then episode 50 is whatever the heck I feel like doing because it's the last one and I don't have any plans. So, anyway, let's get into Tarvos' build and what he's all about. Let me move this out of your way for you, for me, for everybody else. Boom, boom. Here we go. Here's his mids build, and overall concept is this. Lots of firepower. I've got a lot of AoE cone attacks, and I leaned into the so-called Crabbermind concept. So I've got lots of the pets, which the crab spiders do have. You've got spiderlings, you've got call reinforcements, you've got summon blaster. I've got the Arachnos core superior ally in my Incarnates, which you're going to see. So short version of everything is lots of firepower, lots of downrange bullets and plasma and whatever else these guys firing. So hey, if you don't know anything about the Veets, the villain epic archetypes, the basic concept is this: you start off as either one of the Arachnos soldiers, or you start off as one of their widows. And the original version was the males of Arachnos would be the soldiers, and the females would be the widows. Uh, they no longer have that in Homecoming. You can be either or, male, female, doesn't really matter. But anyway, you start off as a soldier, you've got a gun, and you shoot stuff. But at level, I think it's 26, although I think that's changed since Homecoming has accelerated your ability to get access to your secondary power sets and things. So don't quote me on that exactly, but you can diversify or split your training once you hit this level. Like I said, I think it's around level 26, might be a little bit earlier now. So you can either go the crab spider, which is what I did, or you can go into the bane spider, which is what I didn't do. The main difference is this crab is more mastermind build. It's more firepower, lots of blasting range, whereas the bane is more stalkery, more scrappery, more melee. So here's what I went with. I went with lots of attacks, lots of minus resistance and debuffing, that sort of thing. Brought a lot of the turn off these pop-ups because they're annoying me. A lot of the toggles as far as leadership goes as well, stacking some of that up. Lots of defense, etc., etc. Let's go through some of the build ideas and what I'm going for. So I've got level 1 here. You got your channel gun I'm looking at. This is your standard just shooting single. Is this a single target blast? Gosh, this is so confusing. All these little pop-ups. Now, let me turn my pop-ups back on. There we go. So anyway, yeah, it's a ranged attack. It's got the minus defense debuff in it. I threw in the chance of hold devastation on top of that, so it gives me a little bit of control possibilities. Then you've got your other attacks known as Long Fang. This is another ranged attack, minus defense, so another single target blast. I've got the Winter's Bite in there with a chance for minus speed, minus recharge. So you'll notice I'm getting a lot of as many sort of debuffing options as I can get. Most of your attacks are going to have minus defense with the gun, but then I've got, chance to hold. I got the chance for minus speed, minus recharge. Suppression is my first AoE attack. It's a cone, more minus defense I've got in there. I've got the Achilles heel to give me a chance at the resistance debuff. I've got another one of the winter sets with the chance of immobilize in there. Then we go into Venom Grenade. This is an AoE, targeted AoE explosion, so you're going to hit a lot of targets with it. Minus resistance is what it's applying. I put one of the Arachnos, or the ATOs, the archetype training and or origins, whatever they're called, ATOs. I got the superior Dominion of Arachnos in here. Chance for minus damage, chance for terrorize. So a little bit of control, a little bit more debuff is thrown in there, more minus resistance from the power itself. You've got Frag Grenade as my next attack, another AoE, targeted AoE. Smashing lethal damage. It can knock targets back. So a little bit more control. It gives me the global toxic because I put the spider's bite in there. So all of my attacks have a chance to do some toxic damage. What else do I have for attacks? Then I go over here to the Omega maneuver. This is your capstone power for the primary set. It's sort of a pseudo pet that you drop, you plant at a distance at range, and it creates this taunting, has like a taunt effect that draws aggro towards it. And it's basically a bomb that goes off. It's not the greatest in my opinion, just because it takes like 5 seconds for it to detonate or something like that, which is glacially long. And by the time, half the time you've planted it and dropped it, the group has been obliterated or somebody's knocked things scattering or pulled your targets away, so you don't get the full effect of the explosion. So you'll see me usually dropping this early in a fight, like an opener rather than a finisher. I do have another annihilation. I do have an annihilation set in here, which gives me another chance for minus resistance. I put that proc in there. I threw in the purple absolute amazement chance for to hit debuff proc in there. I'm not 100% sure it works through this pseudo pet bomb that it drops. So I'm gonna kind of look for that during my test today. But the idea is again a little bit more debuff, a little bit more chance for survivability, that kind of thing. Just messing up your enemies left and right. Then I've got my pets, right? I've got the spiderlings, which I think there's 3 of them that get summoned if I'm not mistaken. They're just shooting a bunch of bullets. They run around a little. They're kind of hard to see, which is one of their problems. They disappear in the middle of the fight. But they've got the defense aura unique on them. They've got the other defense, the Edict of the Master defense aura. So that gives them and my other pets a little bit more survivability. I've got call reinforcements, which is another pet that I can bring out. More bullets that they're firing. They have the resistance bonus from Sovereign Right. I've got the expedient reinforcement resistance bonus, so I'm stacking these aura defense and resistance unique abilities to increase the survivability of my pets because I'm leaning into that a lot. I'm going to jump ahead here to the Summon Blaster because that's another one of my pets I've got. This one I just kind of Frankenslotted a little bit just to get as much damage, accuracy, recharge as I could so I can get it out as quickly as possible. I do have a lot of recharge you'll see overall in the build. And then back to my overall attacks, I've got Mace Mastery as my epic archetype. So I put another one of these devastation chance to holds in there. So I've got a couple chances to hold between Channel Gun and Mace Blast. I've got Disruptor Blast, which is another AoE targeted attack. It has splash damage that it's going to fire out there with a chance to knock back. I put the sudden acceleration in there to turn it into knock down. So now I've got a couple ways to knock back. I've got a couple ways to hold. I got minus resistance and minus defense. I got some fear. All kinds of different options. I think I forgot to mention the Omega maneuver. That has a disorient when it detonates, so I've got some more control there. I've got the web envelope. That's my final power I picked from the Mace Mastery. That's going to give me a chance to obviously immobilize a bunch of targets, which will stack up with the, the suppression, which also has a chance to immobilize. So I can immobilize bosses, lieutenants, you name it. Lots of different little ways to attack, do damage, debuff, soft controls all over the place. And then my defenses are, of course, my armors. I've got the crab spider armor, and I took the psionic resistance, those 2 special. One of these is unique, the Aegis, I believe, is the unique one. Psionic resistance, status resistance, because I want to try to get some psi resistance built into this character. This is an auto, always on power, and it gives you smash lethal resistance, some psionic resistance, status effect resistance, and I'm getting some more from these additional slots I put in there. I went ahead and grabbed stealth and got the luck of the gambler in there, so there's some defense, some more recharge maneuvers, same idea. I've got defense, I've got the global recharge. Combat jumping, lather, rinse, repeat. I've got the Luck of the Gambler global defense. I took the knockback reduction from Blessing of the Zephyr I've got in there. I've got the shield wall and reactive defense unique, so that's going to give me overall global resistance boost to 5%. Reactive defenses, scaling resistance, so as your health goes lower, your resistance increases. I've got the Wolf Spider armor. This is some more smash and lethal resistance, some more psionic status effects. I put the TP protection, the +3 global defense from Gladiator's armor in there. I got the Unbreakable Guard plus max HP is in there. I've got the combat training for the defense. That's another toggle. Guess what? Luck of the Gambler, some more global recharge. I took maneuvers from tactical training. Guess what? Again, luck of the Gambler. So I am going for lots of recharge. I want to be able to keep firing. I want to keep summoning my pets because they're kind of squishy. Keep dropping them out there. I've got fortification, which is resistance for your, it's like your status protection, status resistance. It also gives damage resistance to everything but psionics, but I'm getting psi resistance from my other powers. And I threw in the another impervium armor psi resistance in this one. Got the assault training for more damage. I've got leadership training here. I have the chance for build up, so another, more potential damage thrown out there. Mental training, that's plus recharge, plus speed, resistance to slow. I threw a little run speed in there. So that covers my overall defenses that I've taken. And then again, for some more protection, I've got in health here. If I scoot this up, you can see I've got the, move that up, so you can see my Incarnates as well. I've got the Panacea, the chance for endurance and hit points. That's a little perk. This is a fairly heavy endurance draining build just because I got so much recharge going and crazy shit like that. So this is going to give me a chance to get some more health, get some more endurance back, plus stamina, of course. So there's lots of firepower going out there. If you look at my total numbers here, and I'll hide myself so you can see a little bit better. And I've got a lot of defenses going with all the different stackable things. And I haven't mentioned that I've taken, I've got my agility over here, which is my alpha from my incarnate. That's boosting my global defenses as well with endurance mod and more recharge there. So that's why my defenses are pretty high in the, mid upper 40s. I've got range defense in the 50s. I've got resistances in the 40s and 50s. Fire, cold resistance, 70%. So I've got really high survivability overall. Lots of ways to stay out of trouble. So that's a lot of my bonuses here. Let me shut off these incarnates for a second so you can see a little bit more realistic numbers here. Recovery is 3.1. My drain is 1.4. So that's pretty good. I've got more than 2, but like you can tell, I've got lots of recharge. 93, 90, almost 95%, almost 100%, right? So I'm going to be firing a lot of things. I'm going to be summoning a lot of pets. It's going to be draining me a lot. So that's why I need to have really good recovery. The agility is going to help with that. When I click that, it takes me up to 3.2. It also boosts the defenses, as you can see. I took ageless, so I have some more endurance. And when I need it, I click that. Recharge boosting, recovery boosting. I've got the diamagnetic core down here. That's giving me more minus to hit, minus regen for some more debuffing. I took the assault radial. That's going to boost up my overall damage, plus I have the chances for double hits. I went ahead and grabbed cryonic because it's got minus speed, minus recharge, a chance for holding. That's going to stack with my other effects that I'm throwing out there. And then, like I already mentioned, I've got the Arachnos core allies to give me some more attackers, some more Arachnos spidery things shooting out at people. So overall, lots of damage output, lots of ways to debuff, a bunch of soft controls, pretty safe build with all the defenses and all the resistances I've got. So this guy, he can lead a fight, he can stand back and, blast away. He's not really going to jump in the middle of some melee thing. He's got all his pets firing downrange. He really doesn't have any way to save his pets, though. That's kind of the one weakness. So pets are going to be getting blown up, especially if you're taking on some big AV or hero, big damaging type of bad guy out there. All right, so that's, I think, the main stuff I wanted to talk about here with the build. I don't think there's anything other than that. I will say overall it's a pretty expensive build, right? I've got winter sets. I got the ATO sets. I got, one or two purples in there. Luck of the Gambler. So this is a very pricey, build. This is probably easily 500 million, if not more, depending on if you have your own stockpiles of some of these enhancements in your base bins. If you're out there shopping straight on the market, at buy now prices, you may be pushing $1 billion on this build. But I probably put it together for, under 500 just because I have a lot of resources in my bins with all my different alts and that sort of thing. So I've got the resources in order to buy these things or stash these things. But yeah, a lot of these ATOs, if you just try to buy these raw or you try to go out and get them all with merits, it's going to take you a while to put this together. So Not for the faint-hearted. Oh, and the last thing I did, I also want to say I took the what is it? The Force of Will. Uh, what is that? The pool power set, because I wanted another way to debuff. So weaken resolve, minus resistance, minus defense, minus to hit, and I have the shield breaker chance for lethal in there. So I'm gonna layer on the debuffs. I'm gonna blast the bejesus out of things. I got super high recharge going, not super high, but high enough. Great survivability, pets galore. This guy is sort of a one-man wrecking ball, as hopefully you'll see in the tests. All right, I'm going to end the video there. I'm going to go ahead and run some solo tests at levels 52 and 53, and then I'll put together a team of 4 or 5 players and show you how he works in that sort of a scenario. All right, I'll catch you in the next vid.